Hello, and welcome to my retro gaming channel. My name is Nate, and today I just want to make a video for you on how to install Myth 2 on a Raspberry Pi 4. Pretty exciting stuff. So what we have here today is a 4 gigabyte Raspberry Pi 4. It's been overclocked to 2.147 gigahertz on the CPU and 750 megahertz on the GPU with 256 megs of memory dedicated to the GPU. I'm running TwisterOS on here. You can get that at TwisterOS.com. I chose this distribution because I think it looks great and it already has everything you need pre-installed to run Myth 2. You will need to have your Pi connected to the internet. You'll also want to have a CD or ISO file, and the Myth 2 1.8.3 update would be helpful if you want to be to the most up-to-date version. First thing we want to do as far as software is concerned is come up to menu, go to games, and run the update box 86. This just makes sure that your box 86 is up to the most current version. I already did it, so it goes quick. It'll take longer for you the first time you run it. After you make sure box 86 is up to date, we'll run Lutris. This is the default install of TwisterOS, so Lutris will be sitting there on your desktop. You won't have to go find it. Once you're in Lutris here, I already have an account. I don't know if it works without an account. You can sign up for an account for free here. If it doesn't work without an account, go ahead and do it. But you're going to want to search. Come in here. You want to search for Myth 2. And before I get ahead of myself too much here, there's Myth 2. We do need to mount our ISO, which we haven't done yet. So you want to, I've already mounted it, so let me unmount it real quick here. So you want to come in here, find your ISO, right click on it, and it should have Open with Disk Image Mounter. If not, it'll be under Open With. Should be one of these options, or you might have to actually find it in the big list. Not a big deal. It's installed with TwisterOS. Just something to be mindful of. So we'll get it mounted. There it is. All right, so back to Lutris. So we've searched for Myth 2. I've already installed it once before, so it thinks it's there. But for you, the first time you do it, it should just come up and say install. So what I'm going to do is say install another version. This is the exact same thing as when you click install. So your options are from CD, Chimera, Campaign, Detailed Texture Pack, HD Movies, Myth the Fallen Lord Solo Campaign, and the 1.8 patch. Since we have 1.8.3, we won't even be messing with that today. So we'll go ahead and start from the CD here. Click Install. It's going to ask you to set a directory. Default works great. You're going to find, now it's going to want you to find the autoplay.exe on your CD-ROM or the setup.exe, which I don't know if there's a setup.exe, but there definitely is an autoplay. Your CD or ISO will be under Other Locations and Myth 2. And maybe it's in here. I don't know. Looking for the setup. I just use the autoplay exe right there. And click OK. And click Continue. And then this takes a little while, so I will fast forward through the boring parts here. All right, so here is our Myth 2 launcher from the CD. Once this comes up, you'll want to click on Install Myth 2 and get ready for some nostalgia because, oh boy, this is going to take you way back. All right, look at that. So go ahead and go through these menus. Click Next and Yes and Next. Now make sure you do the large install. Next and Next. And this takes a while, so I will fast forward. All right, so there we are. We're finished. So go ahead and click the Finish button, and you can quit out of the launcher. And then this background task will finish up here. And then go ahead and close out of this window. All right, so now you need to get out of the search function here. So click on the little magnifying glass, and it will take you back to your list of installed games. So go ahead and select Myth 2. Now you could update to 1.8 at this point using the built-in installer, and it'd be playable. But I don't see a point to that, considering we want to go to 1.8.3 anyway. So to get to 1.8.3, click Run exe inside Wine Prefix here. Find the 1.8.3 updater. And it will take a little bit to go ahead and launch. Just so you know, I'm running off an SD card, so this may be faster if you're using something like a USB SSD or something like that. All right, here we go. And everything's in default, so we can just let it do its thing. And make sure you uncheck Show README, and that will take a little while to launch. All right, so now we've got Myth 2 installed, and it should be able to run now. So let's go ahead and try it out by hitting play. And here we go. All right, so we've gotten to the menu. That's step one, huh? So let's go ahead and change some preferences here. For capture reasons, I'm going to go to automatic on windowed full screen. Full screen by itself works fine. 32-bit really tanks performance, so I take that off, and I don't use VSync. That VSync's up to you. I don't think it makes a difference one way or another. I use OpenGL, it gives you best performance and graphics. Software gives you about half the performance and worse graphics, and Direct3D will give you about the same graphics and half the performance. And I've had Direct3D crash on me, so I try not to use it. You don't have to mess with sound settings. We will be running at 1080p here. And go ahead and change your controls to how you like them, which is what I'm going to do here, because I'd like to be able to control my game a little bit. All right, so once you get all your preferences set, you can go ahead and start a new game, and we'll see how this works. All right, well, we got a cutscene. That's a good sign.
Monday, August 25th, near Willow Creek.
We'll go ahead and skip that. And, oh, would you look at that? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up the FPS counter in the upper right so we can see what our performance is like. And as you can see, we're getting 30, low 30s, mid 30s. It's pretty good. I think that's definitely playable. If you want more frame rate, you could run at 720p, and it will double your frame rate. Yeah, so this game runs great. I'm amazed that it's running on a Raspberry Pi. This is something that I've wanted to see for a long time. I just thought it'd be cool to be able to have Myth 2 on a Raspberry Pi. I don't know why. Just one of those things. There is one issue with it, though, when you're running under OpenGL, and that's when you quit a game or when you finish a level, the graphics glitch out when you go back to the menu. So unfortunately you can't see your stats at the end of a match or a level, and you have to quit it when you quit a game. You can't do anything in the menus because you can't see what you're doing. You'll see once we're done here, and I'll give you a little preview. Now, as far as playing through the campaign, you can hit enter a couple times to get to the next level, and then once you're on the next level, you can save and reopen if you wanted to watch the cutscene. Because you won't be able to see the cutscene because the graphics will be glitched out in between levels. Not a great workaround, but it's something you can do. Direct 3D and software do not suffer from the same issues. So if you're okay with less performance, frame rate, or running at a lower resolution, that's an option too. Hopefully someone fixes this bug or figures out how to fix the bug here, but as of right now, I haven't been able to fix it. I've tried several things and nothing works. So at any rate, let me go ahead and quit out of this, and you can see what that bug is, and then we'll do an install of the high definition texture pack, and we'll see how much different that looks and how it affects performance. So here's what happens. So as you can see, it's clipped a little bit of the screen when you're on, and it covers up the menu. You can't see what you're doing. If I escape once, it quits out. If I was done with a level, if I hit enter twice, I think it's twice, then it would move on to the next level. So it's very playable. That's just an annoying glitch in between levels. So let's go ahead and install the high definition texture pack. So you just, or detailed texture pack, sorry, I'm calling it the wrong thing here. So you go ahead and just click on install another version, scroll down to detailed texture pack, click install. This is actually pretty quick because I think it's just a matter of downloading and replacing files. And there we're done. Now, one thing it does is it puts two different copies of Myth 2 in your list of games here. So I think they both play. What I would do is what I've done is I run one, make sure it works, and then I hide the other one. It's no big deal. You have this option down here, hide game from library. All right, so here we are. Back in the game, we will go to new game. Oh, we got to make sure our preferences are proper. Okay, I wasn't sure if it changed anything. It didn't. So, new game, back to Willow Creek, because we all love that level. And I will bring up our FPS counter here. Click OK. As you can see, we were at like 34-ish before, 35 at the top. Now we're down to 27, 28. So 20, 25%-ish performance hit. But it looks better, huh? So it works. You can, as far as I can tell, you can install everything that any of the add-ons, any of the mods, and they'll all work just fine. I haven't had time to do them all, so I can't speak to each individual one. But at the very least, this is very exciting. We have a version of Myth 2 that works on Raspberry Pi 4 and plays, in my opinion, very well, with the exception of that one graphical glitch that happens in OpenGL. Yeah, maybe one day they'll get that fixed. But for now, let me just say thanks for watching. I'm glad you came, and until next time.